Hello everyone, welcome back to our Drive with Us series. So I am Ami Vikas Mandiratta from Areed and she is my daughter Riya Mandiratta.
Hi. We did a short video like this previously and we got a lot of comments, we got a lot of reviews, and a lot of people told us to do this again. So today we haven't really decided where we have to go to drive, but we just wanted to, shoot another video and have another conversation. So, yeah, what do you want to talk about this week?
So Riya, one thing that I wanted to talk about is how can we maintain peace, harmony and good relationship in the family. So family bonding is something I would like to talk about. So we hear a lot about parenting and family bonding, and it is very important to give right kind of tips and techniques to people to follow, right?
Right.
So there is one technique which has worked very well for our family. You remember so many years back, I think some 10, 13 years back, when you all were very young and I was in corporate job, you have to manage your children, family, everything. So at times I used to get angry. I used to shout at both of you, and you both were very young. What I realized is getting angry and raising your voice, shouting, all these things is only meant to vent out your emotion.
Yeah.
They don't really help in solving the problem. So basically this idea came to my mind that in our family we should have one code word. So whenever somebody is angry, the opposite person or the other family members, they can remind by using that code word. So you remember all four of us, we sat together and then I discussed about this idea, and then I was like, give your feedback, give your views on which code word we can have for our family. And we decided upon the code word ice cream, remember?
Shreya was very young and it was her idea.
Is it?
Yeah, didn't we? Was it not her idea?
I think so.
Yeah. And because it's like, it's a tensed situation, and I feel like ice cream is just the word that makes you feel like, we all love ice cream. I think it's like a really nice word to think of. And like, because, people talk about how when you're anyway angry and then someone says chill or like calm down, then it angers you more because you're like, hey, like is my anger not justified, or like whatever. And like I feel like having a completely different word that is not an instruction makes you feel like it reminds you of like the connection that you have to that word.
Yes, absolutely. So then we decided upon this word ice cream. So how this particular technique works is whenever somebody in family is angry and the voice is raised or the person is shouting or whatever, and the opposite person will speak the word ice cream. So initially it happens that if someone says ice cream, you are already angry, you feel more angry. It happens naturally, right? But then over a period of time you understand that we have thought of doing this to bring more peace and harmony to the family. So the technique is you have to just move from that away from that situation. So maybe you can go to kitchen, drink a glass of water, you can move to your room, listen to some music, or you can step out of the house, just take a round and come back. So basically what happens is whenever you are angry, it is very important for you to manage your emotions for that 3 to 5 minutes. Once that time is gone, you will feel a lot settled. Right? So and then we extensively use this technique, remember? And I think it worked very well for our family. So now so many years, 13 years now, we don't even need to use that that technique, because more or less a lot of peace and harmony we have in our
But I feel like it's also a lot of like this technique, for sure we use this, but it's also like a very conscious decision that you want to have peace in the house. You don't want to a lot of chaos, and you don't like raised voices. So it's just like also the intention behind it that makes it different.
I feel most of the parents, most of the family members have this intent of living happily and in harmony, but it is just that maybe few people are not aware about it, and few people may think that this is the way of life. So it is combination of thoughts that people will have. But I consistently used to feel at that point in time that something is wrong. We need to correct something, right? Over a period of time, what I realized is when we worked on this particular technique and many other techniques that we will talk in this series, I saw that your health started doing better.
Like,
Your and Shreya, basically. I saw a change in both of your health because everything is interrelated, right? You
So-
fall sick because you're not doing well internally. It is not necessarily you have eaten something or
not always.
not always.
Yeah.
And I would say it is the combination. If you eat something, you're also not feeling well emotionally.
Yeah,
You are hurt from within. It will certainly impact your health in a different way.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I remember like we were ever not doing well healthy.
No, so I don't say that you are not doing well, but small things like, getting fever at times during season change, or as simple as getting cough and cold.
I was also thinking that, like when you're in that zone, when you're so angry, it is so difficult. It's not very difficult, but it's very like you're just in the flow of emotions. Like you're very heavily in this stream where you're just feeling so much anger at once. So in that particular moment, it's also not like, even when it's in your mind that, like I don't want to be angry, I don't want to do this, it just happens.
So basically what happens, Riya, is first of all, we are trying to break that flow of emotion. But what I believe is it is also important to work at the root cause.
Yeah.
Why you are feeling so angry,
Yeah.
right? There are so many tips, techniques and tricks to solve your emotions at the root level,
Yeah.
right? Meditate, learn music,
Why do you say music specifically?
because emotions and music are linked.
This is your DMIT knowledge.
I would say it is the way our brain is wired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in dermatoglyphics, you talk about,
so
how.
yeah, when it comes to dermatoglyphics, our left hand ring finger is related to our love for music as well as emotions.
Oh.
So basically it is linked to the right side of the temporal lobe.
Oh.
So
Like-
as music and emotions
Yeah.
are related to the same lobe of the brain, once you start working towards music or pursuing a performing art, you will see that your emotions are a lot balanced.
That is so
And that's why when
interesting.
I do dermatoglyphics evaluation for my client based on their fingerprints, I recommend them different types of performing art to pursue.
So if they have like very high musical balance in their brain.
Yeah, so if their music zone is very strong, right,
Yeah,
the tendency of emotion display will be much more higher, right?
that's so interesting.
So now along with your music, if your linguistic is high, your verbal display of emotion will be high.
oh.
Along with your music, if your kinesthetics are high, your physical display of
Physical
emotion will be high.
Right, makes
And
sense.
say if your linguistic is not high and emotions are very high, it is very difficult for you to verbalize your emotions. So all the more, you feel suffocated from within
Because you're
of
not
that.
able to.
You're not able to vent out your emotions.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And you say your left hand's ring finger. So is that why people wear engagement rings on this
Yeah,
finger?
yeah,
That is so
absolutely.
interesting because
Right.
that is directly connected to your emotion.
to your
Oh
and
my
that's why it
God.
is said that the left hand ring finger is connected to your heart. So basically it is
Oh.
connected to your emotions, and we
Oh,
connect heart to emotions, and that's why this correlation.
got it.
So I am a fan of this particular concept that is known as root cause analysis. You remember we have talked about this earlier as well. So root cause analysis is any kind of concern you have. It is important to first understand the root cause of that particular concern and then solve it at the root level.
Yeah.
So say for example you see that a person is getting angry very frequently. It is important to understand that the emotions are high and how can we channelize the emotions at the root level. So while doing that, we can also club with this particular technique,
Okay, got
because
it.
nothing is going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
You start working on your emotions. It's not that overnight you will become very calm and you
Of
will.
course, it's a journey. I
It's
would
a
say.
journey, yeah. It takes years to change your habit, right?
How many years did it take you?
So Riya, consistently for 3 years, I have kept my New Year goal as not to get angry.
Wow.
So when first year I had set this goal and I reviewed at the end of the year, I saw that I was 30% there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Second year again I had the same goal, because I think that if you have set a goal, you have to be persistent and consistent towards it. So second year I think I was able to achieve to 70-80%. Still some bit of anger
Yeah.
was there. Then in the third year I had set the goal, and by the end of third year I saw that I had achieved it.
Wow. So
But-
you would say you don't get angry now?
Yeah, very rarely I get angry. What
Wow.
do you say? Have you observed that, or
Yeah, I don't think you get angry now. Like, yeah, oh yeah, you don't get angry now. But it must feel nice from within. You know,
yeah,
like
it feels so good from within
Right,
that
because-
I'm in charge. I'm in control of my
Yeah.
own self. And see, whenever I've seen so many people, when they get angry, after some time they feel guilty within themselves.
I'm sure.
I used to feel like that. I don't
I'm
know about
sure.
other people. No one deserves your shout, Ria.
I mean, but you know, like it's often looked at as a form of, you know, like disciplining people or like as a way of, you know, like showing your power or things like
Do you
that.
think, Ria, when you shout at someone, when you hit someone, the person will get
Never
disciplined?
No, it never works. It's a very, you know, like, it's like a shortcut. It's like a form of intimidation at first. I think that's what people intend to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't
so,
think when you're shouting at people, like they want to listen to you.
Ria, and do you think disciplining people with this technique of shouting is okay? People will do something just because they are afraid of you, because they are vulnerable. Later on, will they do that?
Especially in a family, in a house where there are kids. Like, I feel like that is what a lot of people learn. You know what I mean?
So, children are vulnerable. So, when they are young, you can do that. Later on, do you think they will take it? And even if they take it, do you think anyone deserves that? No one deserves
No,
that,
no.
right? So we shout on people who are vulnerable. Do we shout on our bosses? We know that it is never going to work.
I mean,
So by bosses, I mean, do we shout on people who are at the higher authoritative position? They don't do anything wrong. They do wrong, but we don't shout at them because we know that it will not work.
that is so interesting. Laws of Power by Ami Mediratta.
So many people, they do wrong in their life. Children will also do something wrong, right? But it is not that just because they are vulnerable, we shout at them, we hit them to discipline them.
Yeah.
There are better ways to discipline children.
Got it.
As I always say, Ria, this thing, it is very important to get it right. Everybody is in their journey. The child is also in the journey to discover himself or herself. So the child that we have with us is not the complete child,
Version
no?
of them.
Yeah, they are not the complete, they are not the best version of them. They are also in their journey to discover certain things and learn and grow, right? So we need to give that good environment, flourishing environment in our home,
Yeah.
where there is no shouting, no hitting at all.
Yeah.
You know how much I'm against hitting
Yeah.
children. So and then eventually they will get disciplined. So Ria, what I believe is there are so many ways to discipline your child. So the most important thing is to help your child grow his or her soul, right? And if the child has learned how to connect with himself or herself, understand what is right, what is wrong, what is to be
Okay.
done, what is not to be done, then most of the things will be in place.
I love that.
So rather than shouting, hitting, if we can spend more time, energy into doing that, that will make a huge lot of difference, Ria, right?
I like that.
So you need not tell your child that why you are doing this, why you are doing that. If the child knows that this is not right for him or her, the child will
I
not
feel
do
like
that.
mostly whenever people do things, like anything that is, you know, like not good for them, they know it. Somewhere they have the idea that, you know, like it's not good for me. But then they do it anyway because I don't know why do they do it anyway. But
So Ria, you know about our conscious mind, subconscious mind, right? When we talk about conscious mind, everyone is aware about the current moment consciousness. What is happening now? We are talking currently, etc. But when it comes to our behavior, our choices, our decision making, we operate through our subconscious mind.
oh, like how?
So that's the reason, as you said, everyone knows what is right, what is wrong, but few people are not able to make the right decision. That is because of certain triggers they have in their subconscious.
That is interesting.
So what is subconscious? Our subconscious is something which is created knowingly, unknowingly, whatever we are exposed right from the time we are born, right? Even before we are born, when we are in the womb. of our mothers.
So you think that has an impact on you as a person?
Everything has an impact because our subconscious mind does not understand what to filter.
Oh my god.
Whatever our subconscious is exposed to, everything is there in our subconscious.
Wait.
And that's why we say that be very mindful about talking in front of your children, what they are seeing, what they are sensing, how they are feeling, because everything is stored in their subconscious.
In everyone's brain.
In everyone's
fact,
brain.
Yeah.
And that's why
Wow.
though we want to do certain things right, we are not able to do that because those triggers sitting in our subconscious are constantly playing role in our life.
Like, I'm swaying away from the topic, but if you think about it from a very long-term perspective, now that, you know, like, I'm on Instagram, I'm looking at content, I'm scrolling through reels and things like that. Even though I don't do it as much, like, I've started watching more reels, so I feel like it helps me understand content a lot better. But I feel like everything, you know, like with exposure to social media and exposure to media in general, we are constantly putting information in our head. So you're saying all of it is getting stored
Yes,
somewhere. Like,
yes.
we might not remember everything, but every idea, every single thing is training our brain.
Yes.
That is crazy. Because it's like an open field and anything can come to you.
Absolutely.
So realizing that how much impact it has on you, like, shouldn't we be a lot more conscious about what information we are allowing ourselves to be exposed to?
100%. Knowingly, unknowingly, everything is going into our subconscious, right? And that's why NLP is important. NLP is one of the easiest way to reprogram your subconscious. So remove all the negative triggers, implant the positive triggers.
So wait, let's tell everyone what NLP is.
So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, the programming language which our subconscious understands. Right? And that's why we can use this language to train our subconscious mind.
Okay. So I remember, you know, like when I was in school and when I was giving my, you know, like exams and stuff, I remember NLP helped me a lot. Or like even when I would like have like a big not performance, or like I'll have like a big speech to give in front of like very important guests for the school. I think that's the first time we did it, when I had to present the story.
Yes.
The competition. No, it was not. It was a very important school event, and all of the guests were invited. Important trustees of the school, different school principals, and like things like that. And I think that was the first time we tried doing that.
Even I think so.
But I think I was about 13, and I feel like all of the NLP that we have done.
And I had just learned NLP at that time, 8 years back.
But I feel like it had such an impact, and it still has an impact, if that makes sense. Because, you know what, I keep thinking about this so much. Ever since we were really young, you have put a lot of effort into like a lot of things, but mainly a lot of effort of yours was always about making sure that we both are confident individuals. Because like so many people tell me, Riya, you're so confident, Riya, you can, you know, like you have this sense of self, this self-esteem. And I know like a lot of people have like an inward sense of self-esteem. It comes from your prints also. But I think it also takes some effort to, you know, build it and solidify the foundation that you already
100%.
have or don't have. Because I feel like self-confidence just makes life so much easier.
Riya, how can we ensure that a person feels confident? Let us think logically. When will a person feel confident?
When they know they are loved, when they know they have someone they can rely on unconditionally, when, you know, they know that they have a fallback, or like when they have just seen multiple examples of their own success or of themselves just, you know, doing well. So it sets like a whole line of examples for them, I think.
The most important thing is when someone has shown confidence in them. So very easy to build confidence in your child. Just appreciate your child. Just say them that you can do it. Many parents unknowingly, knowingly no one does this, but unknowingly they will say things like, oh, this is a very big competition, it will be difficult for you.
So they are told by someone that, you know, like this might, like you might not be good enough for this.
Not directly, but many a times indirectly also. So the parents would say that you have everything, but you just don't have confidence in yourself. and then the child will actually not have confidence. Maybe
Yeah.
that is the actual situation, but as I told you, whatever you are told will become your subconscious. So now the child's subconscious is, I am not confident.
Yeah.
Now the parent is not wanting to say that, the parent is not wanting to put that in the subconscious, but they
But
are
it
also
goes,
not aware.
yeah.
So just by changing the way you talk to your child, you can change your child's subconscious,
Wow.
and that is going to change your child's life.
It's like so many years of impact in just 5 seconds of video.
So our subconscious is formed based on all our senses,
Yeah.
what we see, what we hear, how we feel
Yeah.
from within, right?
Definitely.
So once we start changing these aspects,
Hmm.
our subconscious will change.
Okay. Yeah. But you know, like I see the way, you know, like people talk to themselves or people talk to each other, and it's like I really don't think a lot of people realize how much simple words impact,
Yeah,
because it's like little things and it's like drops in an ocean.
absolutely.
So it makes a lot of difference, and especially to think that, you know, your own parent thinks that you're not suited for something makes you doubt it a little more, I guess.
So as
So-
such, they don't think like that, parents.
Yeah, of course.
But it is the way they are used to communicate, because they are also not taught how to communicate and how it is going to impact your child's
I'm sure,
subconscious.
yeah.
They are also unaware.
Yeah,
So knowingly, I don't know any parent would do that.
I'm sure. I'm
They,
sure.
all the parents, they want the best for their children.
Yeah.
All the parents I interact with, they are so phenomenal. It is just that certain things they are not aware.
Yeah, I'm sure. This is like a lot of information just at once.
Yeah. So one topic led to the other topic, and
Yeah.
then.
But
So I would like everyone who is watching this particular video to try out the technique that we discussed initially
yeah,
about the code
let's
word.
call it the ice cream technique, or do you want to call it like the code word technique?
Let us call it as ice cream technique, but then other people can have a
Their
different
own
kind of
word.
code
Yeah,
word.
I think that is pretty much it for this video.
Yeah, so two things that I would request our audience to do for us is help us to name this technique, and second thing is please try this technique for a few days and let us know your feedback. If you have already tried, because I give this technique to so many of my clients,
Yeah.
so if you have already tried this technique, please let us know whether it has worked for you, not worked for you, and if it has worked for you, to what extent, and would you like to know something more about it, right?
Sure, yeah, let's do that. So we will await your comments on this, and thank you so much for watching. And we really enjoy making these videos, and if there are any particular topics that you would like for us to cover, please mention down below and we would love to tackle them. We would love to talk about them. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.